Welcome to our April edition of the Microsoft Licensing Update. My name is Chris van der Zwan, and as always we're here to keep you informed about the latest changes and developments in the world of Microsoft licensing. This month Microsoft introduced a few major changes, such as the retirement of the Power BI Premium SKUs end of this year, and the global separation of Office and Teams. So last year they introduced the separation of Teams and Office for the EAE region and Switzerland, and now they go along to a global rollout of that separation. And some few other changes, so let's dive into those. So the first change is the retirement of the Power BI Premium SKUs end of this year in 2024. Existing customers are still able to use that until the end of their contract term for their until their next renewal of their contract. But I do advise you to plan and schedule a bit before that, because you do need to migrate to the new licensing model, so-called Azure Fabric. So Microsoft states that you will receive more flexibility in SKU size, pay-as-you-go options, and access to Azure-only features. And the Azure Fabric is eligible for your Azure Mac. But what is your impact? So the impact lies into three areas. So first of all is time on the migration. Second is the licensing changes, and the third one is the significant price increase. So the first one, the need to save time and plan your migration. So Microsoft is stating that it isn't complicated, and you have 90 days the time after your Power BI Premium Capacity subscription has ended. But still, it does require a lot of time from your end, since you need to plan, test, purchase, deploy the Fabric resources, and migrate your current workloads. The second change is the licensing changes. So the Power BI Premium license came along with dual use rights for Power BI Report Server on-premises, and with the consumption rights of Power BI Report that doesn't require a Power BI Pro per user license. So the last one still remains valid with the Fabric option, but the first one isn't. So which means that when you are using the dual use rights for Report Server, you should procure SQL Enterprise licenses, which is quite expensive. The third one is the preparation and the analysis on your price impact, but because it does probably surprise you that when Microsoft makes a change, it comes along with a major price increase. This seems to be a trend from Microsoft. Every time they're changing their licensing schemes, a major price increase is coming along. Their feedback is that it isn't that major, but probably they forget that customers are procuring Power BI Premium in an enterprise agreement in various discount levels, the A, B, C, and D level. And in addition to that, we together have negotiated a discount on top of that. And that, if we factor that into account, that results in a price increase ranging from 25 to 70% for your workloads. So that's quite enormous, I must say, instead of it doesn't really impact that so much. So the comparison you find here, so we made the comparison about Power BI Premium P1 against the Fabric 64, since those are the comparable resources, both on an 8 vCore machine size. So if we take the annual subscription in your enterprise agreement for Power BI Premium P1, where we did pick the March price list in level D, compared to a pay-as-you-go model, and the Fabric 64 pay-as-you-go is more than double the price. And if we take a reservation in your Azure, so from your Mac, from your Azure commitment, you should take, if you want to go for an annual subscription, you need to take a reservation. Also there the price is quite more cost heavy compared with the annual subscription list price of the Power BI Premium P1. Second change is the Teams and Office global separation. So last year Microsoft introduced the separation of Teams and Office in the EAA region and in Switzerland. And Microsoft now will extend that approach worldwide. This doesn't impact you as an existing customer, because you are able to renew the M365 and Office 365 bundles, including the Teams offering. But it does have impact on the new subscribers to Microsoft 365 and Office, because they need to procure Teams separately. And that comes along with a quite significant price increase as well, because the bundles are a bit lower in price, varies from $1 to $2.50. But the standalone Teams license will cost you $5 per user per month. Microsoft Defender for Identity has been added to his core online services in the product terms, and they defined the storage of the data location. So when you enable Microsoft Defender for Identity in your tenant, Microsoft state now that the data is located where your tenant is located and where you are installed the identity option. Then they added supply chain management premium as a product availability in the product terms. The last change is the add of Microsoft Teams Frontline worker products into their prerequisites tables in the product terms, so now generally available. Thank you for watching our April licensing update. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the 2Data team or myself. We're more than happy to support and guide you in this complex world. And otherwise, I see you next week in a new video.